Mark, how big is the desire to end the season on a high against Grimsby on Saturday?
Yeah, we want to win. We want to get to 50 points and finish the season off in good fashion. And like I've said, it carry into next season.
And I suppose there's still that carrot of contracts for players as well. They've got their futures to look after as well. Are you still working players out in your own mind, or are there still any 50-50s?
Yeah, there's one or two. There's one or two 50-50s. There's some that I'm clear in my mind about. We've offered Ozzy a good contract, so we're just waiting for us to make a decision on that. So yeah, we'll work our way through it over the next couple of days.
And is Isaiah Osborne the only one you've offered a contract to at the moment, or are there others?
Ozzy's the only one we have so far. We haven't got that many sort of that are in and around the first team that are out of contract.
And actually, that must be quite a nice position to be in, because obviously there's quite a few who are coming to the end of deals, which presumably they'll be moving on if they've not been around the team. So you've got a bit of flexibility, but also a lot of the core of your squad for next season is going to be the ones you brought in January.
That's right. We're in a position where we've got a big part of our budget to use on new players coming in, so it's a good position to be in.
When you're doing that, do you set deadlines for players? Do you look to think, right, well, let's get the business done early, and so that you can get some momentum? Obviously, players from other clubs you can't really talk to yet, can you?
No, ideally you want to get your business done early, but sometimes you have to wait if you feel it's the right player. And they might have a chance of a League One club, but they might not. You sometimes got to try and play it a little bit cool, and hopefully that they don't get that club, and you're still there, and you get them. But you've got to. Sometimes they're worth waiting for.
And you talk about Ozzy. I suppose the big thing is that yes, he's played higher up, and he probably could do so again. But the main thing is he's enjoyed his football here, hasn't he?
I think if you speak to Ozzy, he speaks about that openly, that he's not enjoyed his football as much for a long time, and I think that's a big thing, for if somebody's enjoying their football and they're happy. I just think with Oz, he's got to be happy, and if we can get an agreement, like I say, we've made him a good offer, and hopefully we can get that done sooner rather than later.
How's Brad Collins after his concussion?
He's fine. He's trained this morning, so he's passed all the tests for the concussion, so he's back and he'll be available for Saturday.
But the way that Cam Belford played on Saturday at Luton, presumably you've got a decision to make, a nice problem to have.
That's right. Yeah, we'll look at that over the next couple of days and make sure that we try and make the right one.
Obviously, Chris Clement's not available for this game. How will you look to fill that gap in midfield?
We've got a number of options, so we're looking at one or two variables. I'm sure we'll pick the right one on Saturday.
Can you use this game for a little bit of experimentation, or is it all still about the result and the 3 points for you?
We're not really in a position where we've got that many players where we can experiment. It's been sort of the same sort of 16, 17 over the last few weeks, so we'll continue to do that, and we want to just make sure, we try and do our best to get 3 points.
A word on Grimsby. Obviously, they made themselves safe last Saturday. Does that sort of add a bit of relief? Because obviously this could have been, from months ago, a crucial game at this point, and now it's just another game.
Yeah, you don't want to. At no point did we ever want it to go to. If we had to, then yeah, but at no point in an ideal world did we ever want to be battling in the last game to stay up. So we made sure that didn't happen. Grimsby did it last week. I looked at one point they might have to come here and get something, but they beat Notts County last week to do that. So it's a game that both teams can try and enjoy, and without the added pressure of having to get a result.
Spoken about Brad back and available. Any other concerns or any other players returning from injury?
No, we've got a full squad to pick from.